Hey, my name is Dr. Edwards and welcome to the Day Trading Doctor. So a couple things, this is the first video I'm posting to this channel, so a couple things I want to cover. First of all, I'm not a guru, and in fact, I would go as far as to say I have no idea what I'm doing whatsoever. Second thing is, yes, that does look like gonorrhea and you should probably go get that checked out. So on this channel, we're going to be covering and hopefully documenting very well my progress from my first day of day trading and swing trading to hopefully forever, until the day I die. I don't know. Not planning that far ahead. But I want to document my learning process. So today was actually my first day of paper trading, and I think paper trading is a really good idea because nobody's going to know how to day trade when they first start. Especially me. I've never had success with stocks before. I have a broker that manages my money, but he doesn't do day trading because he doesn't like it. And so I was thinking, hey, I'd give it a shot. I see lots of people doing it. And I actually had some minor success on my first day of paper trading. And we're going to go over the stock graphs and we're going to go over some success and failures that I had with my first day paper trading. My biggest victory today, I think, was actually a 6% gain on one of my stocks. But unfortunately, that was the only stock that I traded. The other stocks, one I broke even on, and the other I lost a little bit of money. So thankfully it's fake paper money, but let's get into that here. All right, and as I am setting up my computer screen recording, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I'm learning all the information from Gutierrez, which he seems to really know his stuff. I'm really happy with everything I've learned from him so far. So if you are looking for a guru, definitely check him out. This is more just a channel on my growth. So the first trade that I made for the day was actually Fitbit. I broke even on this, didn't make any money at all. So let's check out Fitbit, and I'll show you exactly where I bought it, what I did wrong, what I'll do in the future, and all that. So at 318, I bought 1,000 shares at 6:50 in the morning. I bought 1,000 shares at $3.18. So that was right here at the top. This is probably the literal worst point that I possibly could have purchased any shares. And there's a couple things. This is the first trade that I've ever made, period, entire life. So I expected to make some dumb decisions. And so I was looking at this graph and I saw all these big green candles coming up. And I did not have the volume MACD or RSI up. I didn't have any of that. And so I was just looking at the candles and the adaptive EMA. I didn't even have the VWAP or whatever these other two lines were. And I didn't actually do these resistance and support lines anywhere prior to this transaction. So I didn't go back and look at, okay, so this is definitely above, so it's going to crash back down. It's above the resistance line, so it's going to crash back down. I didn't know that at the time, and I found that out. But if I was here early, I very well could have purchased right out of the gate and then sold right here instead of purchased right here and sold right here. Because I sold at 318 as well. And so I didn't make or lose any money on this transaction, but I probably would have waited a little bit to see where this was going and then bought somewhere around 314 and then sold at 318. I don't know what percentage that is. I can definitely put that on the screen. But I would have been in the green, and that is now, after doing my first full day of paper trading, I definitely would have done that. And I worked the night shifts, and so I didn't get up on time this morning. It just so happens that a friend texted me at 6:30 and woke me up, and so I was like, I'm going to go back to sleep. Oh, wait, no. Totally a sign from baby Jesus that I got to get going on this paper trading thing because the stock market's open at 6:30 my time. All right, so that was a break even. I bought it at 318 and sold at 318. Not really good, but at least I didn't lose money. But on this next one, I did lose some paper money. It was actually GoPro. I lost a bit of money on GoPro. and I'll show you why. So GoPro, this has been kind of weird this last week, because prior to this, it was big up, and then it's been through this big dip. And so you could possibly, again, don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. It probably could have drawn the support line down here and the resistance line up here. But again, this is just kind of a confusing stock here. But I think that I would have done something a little bit different if, again, I was up at the market open and I knew what I was doing. So I wouldn't have purchased right away. I probably would have waited for this big candle to come up and bought somewhere around 415, and then most likely sold somewhere around 418. And I don't have any trade commissions, and so most likely I probably would not have. I would have made some money. Again, I don't know what percentage that is, but I would have made some amount of money. A professional might have been able to look past this and saw, okay, so it's going down. Let's ride this out for this next peak. Maybe they could have looked at this information, the MACD and whatnot, and seen, okay, so maybe we're going to hit another peak. I didn't have any of this, and probably could have also seen the RSI was pretty high. I didn't, so knowing myself at this point, after the first day, probably would have sold here for a profit. Again, this is just, these last two are just a matter of waking up late and getting to the stock market late, because it seems like the stock market's really volatile the first couple hours, and then it just kind of all went down. I don't know if that's an everyday thing or just today, but across the board, almost all stocks did that, that I saw afterwards. And so I bought at 420, which was, again, right at, actually, it was a little after the peak. So it was when I was going up the second peak. My apologies. So I was going up the second peak, and then I guess I just waited too long because I thought I was going to go up more or something. I can't remember what I was thinking, but I sold down here at 419 for some reason. And I'm glad I did sell down there for just stop loss, just a manual stop loss. Just because, I mean, obviously it was dropping. Obviously the volume just wasn't there. The MACD was showing sell indicators. It crossed over. Everything was kind of declining. And then again, maybe if I was a little more pro, I would have seen, okay, so we're going to get a climb here. But honestly, I wouldn't have. There weren't really any buy indicators that I can see. Maybe the RSI, I don't really know. The volume wasn't good here. The MACD wasn't great. And so maybe someone could have just looked at the candlesticks and been like, all right, cool, we're going to get an increase. But I'm not that cool. So I lost a penny per share, and that was about $10 at 1,000 shares. And I don't know what percentage that is. Percentage is up on the screen. Next one is another loss, but we're actually going to get to one where I got a 6% gain. And so I feel like with this information that I've learned this time and just continually being a little more conservative, that I think I probably could get around 5% per day overall, somewhere between 2 and 5. So again, I think this is another issue of just waking up late. I bought the GLUU at, what's that? 7:02 this morning. Let's see, at 469. Is that right? Yeah, so I guess it was somewhere around here that I bought. Yeah, so I guess it was like right here. 7:02. Weird. Okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I bought at 469 and sold at 465, which was probably right around here. All in all, I made the most novice mistakes possible on this. Looking back, I probably would have waited for open, waited for these big candles start to climb, most likely bought at about 457, and most likely would have sold at 466-ish, somewhere around there, because that big candle most likely would freak me out, and I would probably panic sell. Even though I probably could get a couple extra dollars here, I wouldn't be would not be unhappy with that. So the loss for this is up on the screen. The next one is actually my 6% gain, which I'm pretty happy about. I feel like I did this pretty darn well, if I do say so myself. I could have gotten a little more money out of it, but I got into this pretty perfectly. So I bought apps at 690, which was, where was that? Yeah, that was like right at market open, which I'm pretty happy about, which I don't quite understand how I got that, because I bought it at 727, so I have no idea how I bought it for that price, for 690. But I bought it for 690 per share, at 1,000 shares, and I sold it for 734. So somewhere up here. It was probably during this decline. Obviously, if I waited a little bit, I would have gotten more money. But I'm pretty conservative. I put out the resistance lines, and I saw that, it had hit the resistance line, it had bounced. There was no way I would have known that it was going to come back up. With my current knowledge, maybe you looking at this, you can see some of these signs saying, oh, okay, yeah, you made a mistake there, but even the MACD says to sell at this point. Everything else was dropping, so I think I made a good choice. I feel like next time if I could do this again, I probably would have done the same thing if I didn't have this information here, which nobody does. So that was a good 6% gain, $44 increase. The last one was another loss. And that was GoPro again, actually. So I guess I bought GoPro twice and lost both times. So this one I bought at 422. 422. So I guess I sold. What did I do? I guess I bought it again at shortly after I sold it, and it had gone back up. And then I sold at 420, which was right about here. And that is the percent loss is up on the screen again. So a couple things that I really feel like I need to do differently is actually get to the market at market open, because I would have made money on this if I would have seen this giant candlestick, but probably bought it, market open was about 410, so I probably would have bought it like 414, sold most likely with these big candlesticks around 418. So the percent gain possible is up on the screen now. And so all in all for today, this is how much I could have gained if I fixed the mistakes that I made today, got to market open. It actually made the trades a little more logically and had these volume, MACD, and RSI indicators, as well as all my other indicators up here. Just went about things a little more logically. I would have made a bit more money with the volatility of it open. But live and let learn. This is just day one. And so I will make another video tomorrow about day 2, and hopefully I do things a little bit better. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you go down below and subscribe if you want to follow my journey. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. This is Dr. Edwards signing off with the Day Trading Doctor. Bye-bye.